Let me introduce you to the people whose obsession became their addiction, built empires, fueled investments, and shaped our future. I'll walk you through the crazy, the impossible, and the spark that fueled someone's passion become the right side of obsession. What one person might call crazy, another will say obsession. Together, we will explore how the right side of obsession can fuel your motivation, transform the impossible, and build your resilience to make you unstoppable. Watch as I take you inside the obsession to witness the hyper-focus and laser beam energy required to grow your business and build your empires. Obsession has birthed inspiration and fueled dreams. I will show you how the obsession is necessary to turn your passion into profits. Welcome to the season of I Own It. Obsession, where one person's dreams become a reality. Kevin Goetz exemplifies the word legend. He's been named as one of the most powerful and influential people in Southern California by the Los Angeles Times Magazine. Kevin has become one of the leading advisors, researchers, and focus group moderators working alongside major film studios, decision makers, network and streaming platform executives. His insights touch every aspect of entertainment, content creation from selection, acquisition, and casting, pre and post production, marketing, and distribution. Kevin is a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the Television Academy, and the Producers Guild of America. Founder and CEO of Screen Engine ASI, one of the leading entertainment research and data analytics firms. He is an author and extremely proud of his first book, Audienceology: How Moviegoers Shape Films We Love. And he's an incredible podcast host of Don't Kill the Messenger. Welcome to the show, Kevin Goetz. Has anyone ever told you you're obsessed?
No.
Never?
No, like every day.
Okay.
Yeah. People are always telling me I'm obsessed. And the problem with being obsessed is often that most folks don't match your energy.
Right.
So you have to sometimes remove yourself and bring yourself down to the room, right? You have to bring yourself down so that you are present and people can hear what you're doing. And the obsession is more digestible for them.
Do you see it as a positive or a negative to be obsessed?
Well, I see it as a complete positive. I mean, you know, obviously it's my life, it's my skin, it's my comfort zone. I would say that not everyone would agree with you. They would say he's too obsessed. I just had a situation with somebody who runs one of my divisions not half an hour ago, where I called and said, I just had an incredible lunch with the head of a studio, and he wants this and this and this. And the response was, you know, I love that, but we're so overwhelmed. We don't have the bandwidth. And I'm just thinking, that is conversation that doesn't even register for me.
Right,
like,
right.
What do you mean we don't have bandwidth? Of course we have bandwidth. We'll make the bandwidth. We'll never say no. We'll always be driving. And it's, so, you know, I have a different agenda. I have a different outcome, a different expectation and of what the end result is going to be. So I would say that, you know, it's tough to match my energy.
How do you feel about mediocrity? I mean,
You're
a high performer like I am.
Yeah, I can't. I don't tolerate mediocrity very well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who Ben, might think are mediocre.
Right.
Or less than the energy that we operate on, or the plane that we operate on. But that doesn't mean they're necessarily mediocre. It means that we are exceptional in terms of our frequency. It's very hard to find people who match your frequency.
Right.
I cannot tell you, there is not a day that goes by where somebody doesn't say, I don't know how you do it. You know, I don't know how you fit all of this in a day. For example, almost every night of the week, I'm out testing a movie.
Right.
I test 70% of every movie that tests in Hollywood, pre-release, before it comes out. And I do the screening research where we recruit 300 or 400 people into a location, and then we give them all questionnaires on what worked, what didn't work, what characters they liked, how did the ending work, et cetera. We break out into a focus group after everyone fills out a questionnaire with 20 people to go into a deeper dive about like what it is that is working in a more qualitative way. So we probe, and that is then within a 24-hour period put into a report.
So let's talk a little about movies. So movies and the characters in them. Do you ever predict when a movie or a character will become a fan obsession?
I conduct audience research, and so my superpower in large measure is that I am an audience advocate.
Okay.
So it's not about what I think, it's about what the audience is saying, and I am going to be their voice, your voice, your voice, your voice, your voice. I'm going to be the speaker of that, and that is what has enabled me to be, in the position I'm in, to have a really successful company with over 300 employees called Screen Engine. And it also enables me to fill a white space that not a lot of people do. You know, they say opinions are like, you know what, everyone has one.
Right.
And truth be told, that is true. Nobody cares really about one other opinion. But what gets me a seat at the table, Ben, is that I have data. I have feedback, quantitative feedback, empirical feedback on all of these people.
Right, it's valid.
If one person tells you your movie is too slow and draggy, if an entire audience, or 60, 70% of that audience is telling you it's really slow, this scene has got to go, I'm really confused about that, the ending is underwhelming, I am just not having it, you better listen. So it's not about what Kevin thinks. Kevin doesn't review anything. Kevin is a collector of information of a lot of folks, and then distilling it into a story that filmmakers and studio heads and producers can hear and then can act on. I can't make them act on something, but if they don't, that's their problem.
Is there disagreements though with the people, the clients you work with?
Many times. Most filmmakers have a sense of being defensive. Now, I come from it from a different place because I am an artist.
Right.
That is where I operate from. I don't come from this notion of I come out with a report card and I'm going to tell you, you stink here, you're good here, you're great here. That's not what I do. I come out with an empathy, a sense of understanding what they've been through to get to this screening. I understand how hard it's been, that they've spent years of their lives. So I come in with a sense of speaking the movie language. I've produced 12 movies of my own, 12 television movies, so I know how to speak to them in a way that is actionable. And so they don't view me as a threat, they view me as an ally, often. Sometimes they don't. Whether or not you make a change based on what the audience is saying is immaterial to my life. And they sit with it a little bit, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to make some adjustment and deal with that.
I love the name of your podcast, Don't Kill the Messenger. How did you come about that name?
I've been given this moniker from the LA Times of the doctor of audienceology. And as the doctor, I come out and I have to tell you, your baby is, your baby is ugly. That's an easy one.
Right.
Your baby may not make it. But there's good news, because if you do this, 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 and this, they could. If you do this, 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 and this, they could actually succeed. If you really do this and this, they may flourish. And so that's a great conversation to have if there's time and resources to make changes like that. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes, look, we have 3 weeks before we have to lock this movie. We can't reshoot. And we can't really make that many changes. So you're kind of at a loss, and you go, "Oh gosh, what am I gonna say?" So you try very hard to find the great things about the movie. Every movie is a minor miracle if it gets made.
Right.
And every movie has value. Everything. I always try to find the gem, the little gem, even if it's reaching, because it has it. And I focus on that. And I come out and I talk about that. And it lets people relax a little bit and say, okay, he's on my side. I understand what he's doing. And, and then I have to come out and deliver the rest of it, which is, I love it, but the audience is not understanding it. They're not getting it. They're not whatever it is. And here are some suggestions of things that you can do. And usually they're open to it, but not always. And if they are, it's a kind of a beautiful thing, because I've never seen a movie get worse because they've tested it in front of an audience. I've only seen things either stay the same or get better. So my obsession again comes into the fact of being relentless in communicating what the audience is saying, and trying to make a case for them to act on it.
Kevin spoke about what ingredients need to be present for fans or a movie to become an obsession. These can easily apply to your brand. Kevin's podcast, Don't Kill the Messenger, is a brilliant reminder that the strength of a relationship is not what goes right and the fun times. The value is being able to maneuver through tough conversations when the numbers or outcomes fall short. If there's one thing you could take away from Kevin's interview, it's how critical the research is to success. In your opinion, what has been the greatest audience feedback of all time for you?
I think one of the most significant ones is a movie called Fatal Attraction. And Fatal Attraction was a movie that starred Michael Douglas and Glenn Close. Yeah. And it really was in the zeitgeist when it came out, because it spoke about, and was very relatable, for a guy who has an extramarital affair. He cheated on his wife.
Right, right.
And he, with Ann Archer, plays the wife.
Right.
And he's got a kid, and this woman, Glenn Close, becomes obsessed with Michael Douglas, the character of Michael Douglas. And so much so that and that's, talk about obsession.
Right.
That is the epitome of obsession. And she is relentless in pursuing him. He sees it as a one-night stand. She sees it as the love of her life. Right. He tries to break it off. She ain't having it.
Right.
So here's what happened in the original. In the original, she's so depressed, she's so down on the fact that she is not going to get him. She takes her own life by suicide.
Right.
She takes a knife, and I think she slits her wrists, or to Madame Butterfly playing in the background. And up to that point, it was such a suspense thriller. They boil the pet, she boils, goes in, breaks in the house, boils the pet rabbit on the stove. I don't know if you remember this. And all this crazy stuff. And we get to the ending, and it's a bummer. So we do the focus group afterwards. We hand out the cards, and the scores were lukewarm. They were better than lukewarm. They were good scores, maybe even very good scores, but they weren't great. They have to be great, especially in a movie like that really needs to hit it out of the park. So why didn't you rate the movie excellent? The ending, almost like they rehearsed it.
Right.
It was a bummer. It was not as satisfying, blah, blah, blah. So the scene was added where Glenn Close, the character, breaks into the house. Michael Douglas and Glenn Close struggle, and Glenn Close is thrown into the water in the bath and is choked by Michael Douglas. So the life comes out of her. Just totally, and she dies, so we think. Doesn't solve the problem of the wife getting her vengeance. So out of Michael Douglas is recovering, and all of a sudden, Glenn Close comes out of the bathtub with the knife going towards Michael Douglas, and all of a sudden you hear bam, bam, bam. And Ann Archer, the wife, is in the doorway shooting the other woman. Yeah. Audience goes berserk, a crazy. They go nuts. And standing up, like in the theater, scores go up 25 points, 30 points. The movie becomes a massive success on the cover of Time magazine, blah, blah, blah. And it made hundreds of millions of dollars, where it would have made 50 million, let's say. It was a perfectly good thriller up to that point, but it was a letdown. But because of the audience research, they changed the ending, and I think everyone is very happy that it ended that way. Because, but for the fact that the audience said that, they wouldn't have had the success they had, and the movie wouldn't have gone down as the classic it's become. So I want to segue, if I could, by saying that my obsession with the audience is one thing, but my obsession for the truth is another. And my obsession for the truth is I will do anything to get to the answer. And I am a dog with a bone. I'm a pit bull.
Do you have to be obsessed about something to create success in that specific direction?
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think that's my gut reaction is upset. I mean, look, first of all, obsession is has almost a negative connotation to it.
Right.
But I've always been cut from that cloth. I was a child actor. I made my living that way, and I was obsessed in acting class. I would reach for perfection. It's very hard to reach for perfection. It's not a great goal because you'll never really achieve it.
Right.
So, but you want to achieve high. You want to achieve with, intent, with purpose. But you want to be relentless, and I just don't settle. It goes back to what you said before about mediocrity. That is not a word in my vocabulary. Right. I don't do anything half-assed.
Right.
I just don't.
Right.
And I think anybody that does is compromising. Yeah. And that obsession, I guess, has served me in a way. It's also been somewhat of an impediment because, as I said, other people, taking this conversation full circle, don't necessarily have the way to operate on your frequency, on your level. And as a result, you may kind of, intimidate people or throw them off, or just not have them participate on your level.
Well, tell me about, are people that obsessed, are they misunderstood? Because there's people out there listening and they want to be obsessed. They want to focus. They want to develop a career or a path in their lives where they know they have to be focused. They have to be resilient and really hone in on their craft and really double down to become an expert in what they want to do.
Look, this is what I tell a lot of my friends who have kids in their 20s and kids who want to work for me. I said, folks, there's no mistakes anymore in your 20s. 20s are about experiencing, finding out where you live, how comfortable you are in your skin, where you want to spend your time, what turns you on, what you love, what you're passionate about, and what is going to make you obsessed, fulfilling on that passion. That takes some time. I had it as a young kid. Most people are not like me. Most people are not. So I say experience things, try things.
How do you define success?
About how I feel.
Okay.
And how I make others feel.
Okay.
I believe as you get older, you become a more intense version of whatever you are. So if you're a bitter person in your life, you're going to be more bitter when you're older. If you're a sweet person, you're going to be sweeter. If you're in my case, a generous and thoughtful and kind human being, which is what I innately am, I just become more of that. I find myself, I sit on 6 boards. I'm completely devoted to philanthropy and helping others. I spend about a third of my life helping others, either making phone calls, and I never want anything in return. And that's the other thing. I don't need or expect something back. I just give.
Right.
And giving can hurt in the beginning, and the more you give, the less it hurts.
Yeah.
You keep giving and giving. And that, to me, is part of this definition of success. How I make people feel. I think I make people feel really good.
So you've done so much over the course of your career. It's absolutely, it's mind-blowing to me. Is there anything you'd still like to accomplish in this life?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know what those things are. I think I would like to still star on Broadway, which I've never done. I think I would still like to have an international talk show, which I am on my way to do. I can't talk too much about it, but I am on my way to do that. It's not about things. It's about experiences, right? So when I sell the second half of my company, and I'll be staying with my company for a little bit because I still love what I do, I'm probably going to go back to school. I don't want to take tests. I don't want to get degrees. Right. I'm just insatiably curious, always learning every day.
Do you have any competition?
We have some competition.
Really?
Yeah, we do, but I focus in my own lane. You know, I'm mindful of my competitors, but I don't obsess about them. I just do my thing and keep innovating and pushing forward. And that's another thing that people they're attracted to that. You know, I'm thinking for them. AI is a big thing right now.
I was just going to ask you about that. How is AI going to impact your particular line of work?
We don't know is the easy answer. None of us really know. But I can tell you that it will impact it because there's many ways from the sort of the back end of research that can certainly be helped. We just launched a new product at one of my companies called Tapestry, and the product's called Daisy. And Daisy is a way of taking responses from people and digging deeper through AI, asking, so you felt that? Well, why'd you feel that? You felt that? Oh, so why that? So it's getting even further data than you would normally get from a normal questionnaire. So that's one example. Right. It's going to be, I mean, the entertainment business is just going to be forever changed in a great way.
Kevin, thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Ben.
It was a pleasure spending time with you.
Really great, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Obsession can drive people to do things they wouldn't normally do. Obsession can prioritize your dreams over daily comforts and create the momentum you need to go from good to great. Now it's your turn to fuel your obsession and join others, great leaders, investors, inventors who are leading the pack. What are you waiting for?